Eddie Hearn, what the hell just happened right now with Jesse Brown?
Oh, well, unfortunately, he's just been rushed to hospital. He broke his jaw in the 6th round. And,
6th round?
Yeah, so obviously did a great job of disguising that. And very tough to fight through it as well, but disappointing because obviously he wanted to make that big summer fight with Sonny Edwards. So we'll have to see what's next now. But a good win, 2-division world champion, but obviously need to see what the hospital says and if he needs an operation.
How do you rate his performance overall? You know, it was expected that he was going to take him out early, but it went on 12 rounds.
Gonzalez was tough. I mean, Gonzalez early boxed really well, but in the end tried to survive the back end of the fight, and that made it difficult for Jesse. Obviously with a broken jaw as well, probably couldn't be as aggressive as you want to build. I thought he was quite aggressive, to be honest with you, and caught a few late in the fight, but a good performance against a tricky opponent, and good to get that 2nd division championship.
Did you get a chance to talk to him, and if so, what did you tell him?
I just said to him, because I heard in the 11th round that he broke his jaw from the corner, so I just went up to him after the fight and said, "Do you break your jaw?" And he was like, "Ugh." And obviously in the interview he couldn't really talk, but you know, he hit it really well, because I wouldn't have known otherwise. But obviously it's a terrible injury, and hopefully it's not too bad.
How proud are you of him, of his performance?
Oh, yeah, gutsy. I mean, look, I thought it was a good performance without the broken jaw, but when you go through that for 6 rounds, getting hit, you know, and choosing to be that aggressive as well in the fight, I think that really shows you how tough he is. So very proud of him, and great atmosphere in tonight, and big win for him.
Did you get a chance to talk to Robert Garcia? Because I know he was on a rush to go to the hospital as well. Did you get a chance
Just said
to talk
to him,
him?
you know, they were quite calm about it, really. I sort of went up to him and said, "Did he break his jaw?" He went, "Yeah, in the 6th round." I was like, "Oh, shit." So, obviously, you know, they've rushed straight to the hospital, and hopefully it's not too bad.
What can we expect, you know, moving forward from him? You know, hopefully it's not a major, I guess we can say a broken jaw from what just happened, but if it's not, you think we can probably see him against Sonny Edwards?
Yeah, that's the fight. I mean, you can't keep boxing at this level when you're as good as Jesse. You need to test yourself, but you know, everything's going to hinge on what the hospital says, really. But he wants to go straight into that Sonny Edwards fight, but Sonny needs to fight probably July in the latest, so we have to see. It's probably going to be unlikely now. It'll be Jesse. Maybe we'll look at Julio Cesar Martinez, Delakian, and try and make that unification for Sonny Edwards, because he's another fighter that's really, really good and talented, and I don't want him hanging around that level for too long. I want him challenging himself in big fights.
Is it safe to say that Jesse takes some time off, obviously?
Well, subject to what the hospital says, but if he's broken his jaw and he needs it operated on, then yeah, you'd have to think that he's going to be out till the autumn, winter.
Also talk about this tremendous card. There was a huge upset. MJ lost 2 titles.
Yeah, I felt he won the fight, but I felt like he boxed poorly in the first half of the fight. Tapales started well, but I just didn't think he did enough in the early stages. But I had him, you know, I thought he won 9, 10, 11, 12. I had him 115, 113, but when it's 115, 113, you run the risk of it going the other way. And I was surprised that the challenger got the decision, but congratulations to him, and very disappointing for MJ.
Did you think it was that close? I mean, we had him more in line with how Lisa jump out, like wide.
For MJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he won the fight. Maybe 116, 112, or 115, 113, but I just feel like in the first 6 rounds, he gave too many rounds away, probably up to the 9th round. You know, I probably had it, I don't know, through 7, like 5-2 to Tapales or 4-3. And then I gave him literally every round from 9, 10, 11, 12. But I just felt like he boxed poorly in the first half of the fight. Tapales boxed well, but just didn't do enough. Got his feet in position and didn't let his hands go. And in the 12th round, you could see when he let his hands go, he was hurting him badly. And that was even more frustrating.
Eddie, we also spoke with Berlanga, obviously the big news that he's going to be fighting in June. He's looking really forward to being with the partnership, obviously being under Matchroom. I also talked to him and potentially in the near future fight with Munguia.
Yeah, great
What
fight.
do you think about that?
Yeah, I think, you know, first up, we got a guy who's, you know, around the top 15 in the world. He's fought for a world title. He just won last Saturday. It's Puerto Rico against Ireland. Edgar's been out for a year. I think he's a perfect opponent. But to get a fight with Canelo Alvarez, he's got to box a lot better opposition than Jason Quigley. But he's still the toughest opponent he's ever had in his career so far. But there's a lot of hype around Edgar Berlanga. So I love the Jaime Munguia fight in October, November. I think it's a very tough fight, but it's a great fight as well at the same time. But he's got to deal with Quigley on June 24th at Madison Square Garden. It's going to be a big card, great atmosphere, and he's a big star, but he needs to put the performances to back it up.
He keeps on manifesting that Canelo fight. He told me as well, he said, I already talked to my coach, what song I'm gonna come out to, where's it gonna be at, what I'm gonna do. So he's manifesting.
Listen, if he can get himself in position for that fight, it's a huge fight. but he has to knock out Quigley, and then he has to knock out a higher level opponent later on in the year, and then we can start calling out Canelo Alvarez. But like we always say, you have to earn your shot at Canelo Alvarez, you know, and he hasn't. He hasn't anywhere near any shot. But dealing with Quigley in style will be the first step to that on June 24th.
What has Canelo said about that fight?
I think, like everything, I think Canelo always feels that as an opponent, you've got to bring something to the table, or you've got to earn the right to fight him. And at the moment, he hasn't fought anybody, Berlanga. But this is the first step, and then he'll have to have a tough opponent. And when people start calling for that fight, that's when it will get on Canelo's radar. He's not looking at Edgar Berlanga right now. He's looking at John Ryder and Dimitri Bivol.
What about today's fight, about the response of the people? You have a sold out?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's only small, 2,600, and it's a bit out of town, but it's a nice size, good atmosphere, and BAM's been filling it up now, and now we move to the unifications. Maybe we look into other arenas downtown and start growing that crowd as we get bigger fights.
What's BAM's status? A lot of us got here a little bit late in the year.
Yeah, he's broken his jaw, almost certainly. The doctors have confirmed that, and now he's been rushed to hospital. He's going to have to get that x-rayed. I mean, super tough. Six rounds fighting with that, and I said the most impressive thing was how aggressive he was for those 6 rounds. Normally, if you break your jaw, you just sort of stay tight and win, but he was going for the knockout, and hopefully it's not too bad, but in that instance, almost certainly it's an operation, and that will rule him out for several months.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you, Eddie.
cheers, guys. Thank you.